Hello friends, welcome to the Sass course. In this crash course, we are going to learn what is Sass. Well, until now we have known about CSS, which is actually used to style HTML document, but now we will understand what is Sass. Now the first question comes in your mind is what is the Sass and why would we use it? Well, in this course I will answer all your questions one by one. We are going to learn what is Sass, why would we use it, and how to use it. Then we will look at Sass features like mixing, inheritance, and variables, so on. And we will also understand why Sass is powerful than CSS. So let's get started. First, understand what is Sass. Okay, so Sass is a CSS preprocessor which adds special features such as variables, nested rules, and mixing into regular CSS. The aim is to make the coding process simpler, more efficient, and avoid repeating the code. The CSS preprocessor is a scaping language that extends CSS by allowing developers to write code in one language and then compile it into CSS. Now, the full form of Sass is Synthetically Awesome Style Sheet. Okay. Sass is an extension of CSS that enables you to use things like variable, nested rows, and more. Sass lets you use features that don't exist in CSS, like variables, nesting, mixing, inheritance, and other nifty goodies that makes writing CSS fun. Once you start working with Sass, it will take your preprocessor Sass file and save it as a normal CSS file that you can use it in your website. Now let's first understand how to set up Sass project. So I'm going to create a new folder in my desktop. So let's create a new folder and I'll name it as Sass. Okay. So this is my new folder, which I name it as Sass. Now I will open this folder in Visual Studio Code. If you don't have Visual Studio Code, then you need to go to Google and you need to search for Visual Studio Code. And this is the first link, code.visualstudio.com, and from here you can download. If you are a Mac user, you can just click on it and it will get started to download. And then if you are a Windows user, then you need to click this arrow and you need to click here to download. Okay. So once you download this, then you can install it. I have already installed it, so I won't do it. Then you need Node.js. Okay. So Node.js. So you need to go to nodejs.org and you need to install this latest features, either current or latest one. Okay, long-term support schedule. So you need to install this. If you are a Mac user, you need to install this. Otherwise, you need to go to downloads, and here you can see there are different versions like for Windows, Mac. Okay, so you need to download this LTS version and install it in your machine. I have already done it. Okay, so now let's go to Visual Studio Code and let's open the Sass folder here. So once I'm in Visual Studio Code, I'll click on Open Folder and I'll click on Sass and I'll click Open. Okay, so here in this, I'll create two folders. I'll create three folders. Okay, so the first one is, so let's create a new folder by clicking here, and the name of the folder will be SRC. Okay, then I'll create one more folder with the name CSS. Then I'll create one more folder and I'll name it as Sass. Okay, so we need these three folders. So I will write my CSS in Sass and I'll compile it in CSS. Okay, and use this CSS file in HTML. So I will create HTML file in this source directory. So let's click here, right click, and you need to click on new file and I'll name it as index.html. Okay, I'll press enter. And here I will add an exclamation and press tab. So this will create a simple HTML snippet. Here I will change the title to Sass. Okay, let's save this file. We have done some setup for our project. I will continue this setup in the next lecture. So this is it for this video. I hope you like this video. Please like, share and comment, and please subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Till then, take care and bye bye. Hello friends, welcome back. Now is the time to install Sass package in our application. To install this Sass package, we just need to open the terminal. To open the terminal, we need to press Ctrl and backtick key. So here we need to initialize our application using package.json file. So I'm going to create that file using npm. So I will say npm init. And to avoid the questions, I will just say -y. This will avoid all the questions and create a default package.json file in your root directory right here. Okay. So once you open this package.json file, you can see here is the name of your application. So let's name it as Sass-app. Okay, let's save this file. Now let's just close this file. Now it is the time to install Sass in your application. To install Sass, you just need to say npm install Sass, and I will save this package as a dev dependency. So I'm going to write -d, and then I'll press enter. Now Sass is installed, and this will create a new folder which is node underscore modules. So once you open this folder, you can see you have bunch of dependency. So we don't have to do anything. So just close this folder, and in Sass folder I'll create. So let's close this. Okay, in Sass folder I will create a new file, and I'll name that file as index dot, and here we need to specify the extension. So Sass has two file extension. First is Sass and the second is SCSS. So what is the difference between Sass and SCSS? So let's create SCSS file, okay? And we will understand the difference between the two files. So we will first understand the Sass extension. So we need to understand two extensions. First one is Sass and second one is SCSS, okay? SCSS. So we need to find the difference. We need to see the difference between both the file extensions. So Sass extension is the older syntax, is known as indented syntax or just Sass. It is indented for people who prefer conciseness or similarity to CSS instead of curly braces and semicolons. It uses intention of lines to specify blocks. For example, now let's say you want to specify padding and background color to the body. So you could do that like this. So let me create one more file. Uh, so I'll create one more file and name it as index.sass, sass. Okay. So here we need to specify padding and background for the body. So I'll write body, curly braces, and padding, which will be 1 em, and then we'll give background, which is light blue. Okay. So let's save this. So this is a valid CSS syntax. If you try to compile this Sass file in CSS, this will run an error message because we chose Sass syntax to create this file. And if you use .sass syntax, you don't need to specify curly braces and semicolons. So as I said, in .sass file, curly braces and semicolons are not allowed. So we need to remove this. So let's remove this curly braces and semicolons. So now if you look at this file, you actually are not comfortable with this code because probably in every programming language you will use curly braces and semicolons. So if you have a practice with other programming language, then you will make plenty of mistakes while creating this Sass file. If your habit is to specify semicolons at the end of the statement, this will actually produce tons of error. So in that situation, Sass provide us a similar syntax, which is .scss. This is most commonly used syntax, which is also known as Sass in CSS, and it is a superset of CSS3 syntax. This means that every valid CSS3 style sheet is valid, as well as SCSS file uses the extension .scss. So we are not going to use .sass file. So let me delete this file. We don't require this, okay? And here we need to write the same code which we wrote in Sass file, in .sass file, okay? So let's write the same code, body, and here I'll give padding, which is equal to 1 em, and then background, which is light blue. Okay, so here this is working fine. This is a valid syntax in Sass because we use SCSS extension to this file. So for the whole course, we will be using this .scss syntax to create Sass file. So this is it for this video, and I'll see you in the next video. If you like the video, please like, share, and comment. And please subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Till then, take care and bye-bye. Hello friends, welcome back. Now we will understand why would we use Sass rather than CSS and how to use Sass in the application. Now, if you use CSS previously, then this question often comes in your mind. Why would we use Sass rather than CSS? Well, Sass provide more power to style it. It allows us to create variables, nesting, mixing, inheritance, and more. So this functionality is not available in CSS. So using Sass, you can use all this functionality and compile it into CSS. Using Sass, you can write minimal code and compile it into CSS and just use the CSS file in your application. Now you know that why would we use Sass. The next question comes in your mind is how to use it. Now let's look at the power and the feature of Sass one by one. We are also going to learn how to link Sass file to your index.html. So let's first understand how to create a variable in Sass. So let's go to Visual Studio Code, and here let's remove this code, and now I'll create a variable. The variable is a way to store information that you want to reuse throughout your style sheet. You can store things like color, form tag, or any CSS value you think you will want to reuse. Sass uses the dollar symbol to create a variable. Okay, so to create a variable, you just need to specify a dollar symbol and specify a variable name. Make sure the variable name is unique and do not use dollar sign in between. Okay, not use dollar sign again. Okay, once you have used the dollar sign at the start, don't use it again. So this is not a valid CSS variable. Okay, so make sure that you just specify dollar sign at the start of this variable. So now let's name this variable as primary color, and now I'll get the value. Now I'll specify the value. So I'll say hash e5 e5 e5. Okay, so now I'm going to reuse this color throughout this application. If you use normal CSS and specify this color for a specific element, then you need to rewrite this X value again and again when you specify this color to different HTML elements. But in Sass, you can store this X value into a variable name, which you can use anywhere in the Sass file. So here I'll create body, and the property I would like is background color, background. Okay. And here I want to specify the X value. So I'm not going to write this value again, but here I will write the variable name which I have created. So I'll say dollar primary hyphen color. Okay. So this value is assigned to this variable. Okay. So now this value is assigned to this property. So now let's create another variable. So dollar, and the name of the variable will be primary hyphen font, and the font name will be sans serif. And along with that, I want to specify a fallback font value. So I will just specify a comma, and in single quote, I will just say cursive. So now here in the body, I'll write font family, which is equal to dollar primary font. Okay, let's save this. Now I want to use this Sass file in index.html. Okay, so I want to use this in index.html. So to use Sass file in HTML, you need to compile the Sass file into CSS. Now let's see how to compile Sass into CSS. So now we need to open the package.json and create a new script. Okay, so here I'll add a comma, and here I'll write start. So in the start script, I will write Sass. When you install Sass on the command line, you will able to run the Sass executable. So to compile your Sass file in CSS, you just need to specify the path of your Sass file. So I'm going to specify the index.scss file here. So I will say dot slash Sass, okay, slash index.scss. Okay, so this is the part. Dot slash is the root directory, and then sass This is the folder name and this is the file name, index.scss. So now we need to specify the output file name as well. So here I will write space dot slash, then the folder name which is css, okay, and then the name of my compile css file. I will name my compile css file as slash style.css, and let's save this file. Now we need to execute this command by using npm. So let's come in the terminal, and here we need to write npm start. So I'll execute this command line and I'll press enter. I think this path is incorrect, so I'll write scss, okay. Let's save this, and now again I'll clear this command line and I'll write npm start. So we are getting some error, so I'll make it small, okay. And now let's save this, and here there is something, here the issue is that this source folder is at the top and the css and scss folder is inside the source folder. So we don't want that. We want that this css and sass folder should be outside this source folder. So we need to move this outside, okay. So let's move it. Now this sass folder is outside this source folder, and same goes for css, okay. So let's move it outside this. So now these three folders are different. Now let's try to execute, okay. So let's clear this out, and now I'll write npm start, okay. Okay, so now we are able to compile this css file as css file into css, as you can see here. Now if you open this css file, you will able to see that we are getting style.css and style.css.map, okay. And if I open this style.css, you will see the styles which we wrote in scss, okay. Here we are getting it here, okay. So the benefit of using this technique is rapidly writing your code and write less code than the css. And let's open the index.html file, and just after the title, okay, just after the title we will write link, and here in href I will write dot dot slash css slash style.css, okay. So this is the way to link your style.css file in html, in index.html. Now if I save this, and now if I go to the browser, okay, let's click here, go live. So right now you can see the gray background which we have given here. Okay, how does go live came? This is an extension actually. So if you want to use this extension, you can just use it, live server, okay. So this is the extension which I'm using. You should install this, so you will able to, once you install, then you will able to see go live here. So once you click that, it will open this. So let me close this. Now let's go to index.scss file and let's change this to light blue, okay. Let's save this, and now let's go to the browser. So you can see that there are no changes applied. We have done light blue, but still it is showing gray color. Why this is happening? Because we did not execute the npm start command to compile this file into css. So whenever you make any changes in scss file, okay, so whenever you make changes in scss file, you need to actually execute the sass command. To solve this, we have a watch flag. Using watch flag, you order Sass to watch the file when you make changes and compile it into CSS quickly. You can also watch individual files or directories. With the watch flag tells Sass to watch your source file for changes and recompile CSS each time when you save your Sass. Now let's use the watch flag. So let's open the package.json file, and here I'm going, here we need to just say -watch. Okay, let's save this. And now in the terminal, we need to write npm start. Okay, let's press enter. Sorry, it is -watch. Okay, let's save this. And here, let me clear this out. And here I need to write npm start. Okay, so now as you can see, compiled sass -index.scss to css style.css. So now this sass file is compiled into css file, and sass is watching for changes, okay. So now the sass is also watching for changes. If we go to the sorry, okay, we need to click on go live. Okay, okay, where is the index file? So now as you can see, the color which we have applied light blue has been applied to this background color. So now let's go to Visual Studio Code, and if I go to index.scss and if I change this light blue to red, and if I save this and if I go back to the browser and refresh it, so nothing changes because let's go to the Visual Studio Code and there is an issue. This file extension SCSS, it should be in small letters and not in capitals. So SCSS, okay. And now if I save this and now if I go to the browser, you can see this background color has changed to red. And now if I write green and save it, so now it is green color background. Okay, so whatever color you give here, it will change. Now it is pink. In this way, we can compile SCSS file into CSS file. So whenever you make changes in index.scss file, so the watch flag will see are there any changes. So if there are any changes, so it will compile this index.scss into style.css. Okay, so this is it for this video. I hope you like this video. If you like it, please like, share and comment, and I'll see you in the next video. If you have not subscribed to my channel, then please subscribe it, and I'll see you in the next video. Till then, take care and bye bye. Hello friends, welcome back. Let's understand one of the most interesting topic, which is nesting. While writing HTML, you will probably notice that it has a clear nested. It means to select a li tag, you could select the container div, then the inner UL tag, and then select the li tag. So let's go to Visual Studio Code and let's go to index.html, and inside body, I will take a div with container with a class container. Okay, and inside this container I will take a navigation tag, means nav tag, and inside nav tag I will take ul tag, and inside ul tag I will take li tag, and here I'll add some simple text css, then I'll take one more li tag, and here I'll write html, and here I will take one more li tag, and here I'll write sass, and after the ul tag I will create an anchor tag, and inside the anchor tag I will say link. Okay, let's save this file. Now I want to style this li tags. It means to select the li tag, you could select the container, you could select the container div, then the navigation menu, then the ul tag, and then the li tag. It is fine if you want to do that once, but what if you want to style different li tags manually and specify different styles to it? Now, when you are working with a complex website, it is hard to track all the classes used in it. So in that situation, Sass will let you nest your CSS selectors in a way that follows the same visual hierarchy of your HTML. I will style this li tag with a simple CSS. So let's go to index.scss, and here I am going to first select the container. So here I'll write dot container. First I'll select container, then I'll select nav, then I'll select ul, and then all the LIs. So this will select all my LIs. So this LI is inside the UL. So I will put a greater than sign, but I want to select my first li tag. So I am just going to say colon nth child 1. Okay. So this will, I will be able to select my first li, and then I'm going to specify a style for this li tag. So I'm going to specify here font size 1 em. So here, as you can see, we have specified font size 1 em for the first li tag. Okay. Now, what if I want to specify 2 em for my second li tag? In that case, you will repeat yourself. So let's say container, you will say container, nav, ul, li, and then nth child 2. And here you will specify font size 2 em, correct? But you just notice that you are repeating yourself. In programming, there is a simple principle, dry, which means don't repeat yourself. So here we are repeating the code, but by using Sass, you can nest this like you usually do in a HTML. Sass will let you nest your selector in a way that follows the same visual hierarchy of your HTML. So if you want to select your first li tag, so let's remove this statement. Okay, and I'll just say a container, and inside container I'll take nav, and inside nav I'll take ul, and inside ul I'll take li, and here I'll give font size 1 em. Let's save this. So inside this container, you can select your nested elements like nav, ul, li tag. Okay, we will learn how to specify nth child for this li tag in the later section. But here you can see to use li tag, we use nesting. Now to select the anchor tag, which is inside this nav tag, we need to write something like this. So inside this nav, here I'll say a anchor tag, and here inside the curly braces, I will specify text decoration none. Let's save this. So here, as you can see, it is really simple to select all the nested items, and this will save you a lot of time. So now if you open the style.css, okay, we need to run npm start. So npm start. Now let's save this. And now let's go to style.css. And here, as you can see, we have container. And using this container, we select the nav, ul, and li tag and specify the font size. And just after that, we selected container, nav, and the anchor tag and specify the text decoration none. So as you can see, Sass automatically produce this code for you and save your lot of time. Now, what if you want to style this container? Okay, so let's go to index.html. So what if you want to style this container? In that situation, let's go to index.scss, and here you need to write width, which is equal to 100%, and height, which is equal to 100%. Let's save this, and now let's open the style.css, and here you can see we got a container with the width 100% and height 100%. So we are not repeating ourselves. Okay, we just created nested element and specify different style for different element. This is it for this video. I hope you like this video. If you like this video, please like, share, and comment, and please subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Till then, take care and bye bye. Hello friends, welcome back. So let's move on to the next topic. The next topic is partials. So what is partials? You can create partial Sass file that contains little snippet of CSS that you can include in other CSS file. This is a great way to modularize your CSS and helps to keep things easier to maintain. A partial is a simple Sass file name with the leading underscore, and the name of the file, you might name it something like this, the leading underscore and the name of your file. So I'm going to give the name as partial.scss. Okay. So this will be the name of your partial file. But what is the use of this file? Using this file, you can actually modularize your CSS. You can reuse this CSS code anywhere in any CSS file. You are free to specify any name of this partial file. The underscore lets Sass to know that the file is only a partial file and that it should not be generated into a CSS file. Sass partials are used with the import directive. So let's understand what is import directive and how to import the partial file using import. So let's first understand what is import directive and understand how to import the partials. CSS has an import option that lets you split your CSS into a smaller and more maintainable portion. The only drawback is that each time you use import in CSS, it creates another HTTP request. Sass built on the top of the current CSS import, but instead of requiring an HTTP request, Sass will take the file that you want to import and combine it with the file you are importing into. So you can serve a single CSS file through the web browser. So basically we use import keyword to import the partial file in the CSS. For example, let's say I want to create a default CSS code and then use the code into couple of CSS file. In that situation, I will just create a partial. To create a partial file, we'll create a new file in Sass folder. So let's create a new file in Sass folder. And here I will first, we need to give a leading underscore and we need to give the name of the file. So here I'll give default.scss. And let's remove this, save this, and let's come back to underscore default.scss. So in this file, I will put my default code, which we'll use in different CSS file whenever you want. So here we select HTML, then we are going to select the body. Along with that, we are going to select the UL tag and li tag. And we need to remove the margin and padding. So margin 0 and padding 0. Now I want to use this code in my index.scss. So we need to come at the top of the file, and here we need to write @import, and inside double quotes or single quotes we need to write the name of the file. So I'll write default. So here we don't need to give underscore, and we don't even need to give the extension, which is SCSS. Okay, so let's save this file. And once you save this file, and if you go back to style.scss, let me save this file again. Let's go to style.scss. There is some error. Okay, now let's save this. I have not given a semicolon, so let's give a semicolon and then save it. Let's go to style.css, and as you can see, whatever code we wrote in this default SCSS, we are getting in style.css. Okay, so it is very simple to create a partial file and then import in your Sass file. The benefit of using partial is to maintain your source code. For example, if you are creating a complex responsive website, you can maintain your desktop CSS code and mobile CSS code separately. Now, whenever you import your file, you do not need to include the file extension, and you do not need to include the underscore, because Sass is smart and will figure it out for you. So this is it for this video. I hope you like the video. If you like the video, please like, share, and comment. And please subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Till then, take care and bye bye. Hello friends, welcome back. Let's understand the new topic, mixing. So what is mixing? So mixing is just like a function using JavaScript, but with different syntax. A mixing lets you make CSS declaration that you want to reuse throughout your site. Now let's take an example and understand how to use mixing and what is mixing. So here in index.html, I will create a div tag. So let's create a div tag with a class which is equal to transform. And I will specify some CSS property for this class transform. Let's save this. To specify some CSS property, we need to go to index.scss, and here I will write dot transform, and I'll specify some CSS property. So width, which is equal to 150 px, height, which is equal to 80 px, and transform, which is equal to rotate 20-degree, scale 1.5. Let's save this. In normal CSS, let's say you want to write a code for transform div and want to use the same code for different div for different values. Then you could rewrite the code to make that possible, or you can create a new class and specify different values to it. But doing this, you are repeating yourself. But in Sass, this is not the case. So let's understand how to create a simple mixing. Now I will create a mixing and assign same style for different divs. I want to specify different values for this width and height. So I'll create a mixing here. To create a mixing, we need to use @ and we need to say mixing, and we need to give the name of mixing. So I'll give a name as transform underscore me. Okay, and this parentheses, and we need to open and close curly braces. So to create a mixing, you need to call a directive mixing and then the name of your mixing. And inside this parentheses, I will call a variable. We are also using a variable property inside this parentheses. So we can pass this variable to this values, okay, and change the value whenever we want. So let's create a variable. So let's say $sign and property 1, and I'll add a comma and $sign property 2. And let's just cut this CSS and CSS property and paste it here. And now I want to change the property of height and width for different divs. So I'm going to pass these variables here. Okay, so let me remove this value, and here I'll pass dollar prop1, and here I'll remove this value and I'll write dollar property2. Okay, and here we need to say at the rate include, and we need to give the name of this mixing. So include transform underscore me, and here we need to pass the values. So 400 pixels, comma, and 500 pixels. Okay, let's save this. Now, what if you want to use the CSS style for different div? So we need to create a new class. So I'll create a new class dot transform hyphen 2, and we need to copy this and paste it here, and here I will change the value. So I'll give 200 pixels, and here I'll give 300 pixels. Okay, let's save this. Now, what if you want to add some extra CSS property for this class transform? Let's say you want to add font size. So I'll add a font size which is equal to 3em. Okay, so this technique saves a lot of time. Okay, let's save this and let's run npm start. Okay, let me say once again. And once you open the style.css file, you can see we are getting two classes, transform and transform2. And in both the classes, the width and height is different. Okay, so here the width is 400 pixel, height is 500 pixel, and here the width is 200 pixel and height is 300 pixels. And here we are getting an extra CSS property which is font size 3em. Okay, so in this way you can use mixing. If you like the video, please like, share, and comment, and please subscribe to my channel. And I'll see you in the next video. Till then, take care and bye bye. Hello friends, welcome back. So let's move on to the next topic, which is extend, or you can also say inheritance. If you have a knowledge about JavaScript, then inheritance is not hard to understand. This is one of the most useful features of Sass. Using extend lets you share a set of CSS property from one selector to another. Using extend, you can reuse the code by extending it. Let's say you want to store multiple CSS properties in a single variable. In that situation, extend help you out. Extend is just like that. We use extend, or you can also say inheritance, to use multiple CSS property in different classes. Using example, you will better understand what is extend and how to use it. Now let's say if you want to specify border to the element and you want to use this border for a couple of elements. And along with that, you want to specify additional style to different HTML element. In that situation, you can use extend. Let's see how to do it. So in index.scss, we will create extend. So to create an extend, you need to specify a reminder operator. So I'll give a reminder operator, and using reminder operator you can create extend and specify multiple CSS property in it. So I'm going to create an extend and specify name for this extend. So I'll give the name here. So I will say extend hyphen border and then curly braces, and inside this I will wrap multiple CSS property in this extend. So we will say border, and value will be 1 pixels solid, and color will be CCC. Okay, then the next property will be padding, and padding will be 10 px, and then we have color, which is hash 333. Okay, now I will create a new class here and name it as border. Okay, so border, and I want to use this 3 CSS property in this class. So we want to extend this 3 properties here in this class. So basically I want to reuse this 3 property in this class. So I'm going to just say here at the rate extend and the name of the extend. So let's copy this and paste it here. Now let's save this, and if you open style.css, here you can see we got the class border, and these are the 3 properties which we want to use in this class. So let's say if you want to add one more property, so if I add font size 1em, and if I save this, now if I go to style.css, now this CSS property has been added here. Okay, so now what if you want to use this property in another class? So let's create one more class, border hyphen 2, or border 1. Okay, let's give it border 1. So I want to use this property here, and I want to add additional CSS property, which is margin, which is 20 px. Okay, so let's save this and let's go to style.css. So here, as you can see, we have two classes, border 1 and border, and all these CSS properties are been added to this class, and we got one more class which is border 1, and the CSS property is margin 20. So this is the additional CSS property which we have added to this class border 1. So in this way you can use extend. Okay, so this will save you a lot of time. And what if I want to create one more extend? Let's say I am creating one more extend, border hyphen 2. Okay, and here I'm using, let's say, margin 10 px and font size which is 1 em. Okay, if I save this and if I go to style.css, I won't see any CSS property which I added here, because we have not used this extend border to anywhere in this class. Okay, so if you don't use this extend anywhere in this classes, so you won't be able to see the properties here. Okay, only if you use this extend here in the classes you will see the properties. So this is the way you can use extend in Sass. So I hope you like the video. If you like the video, please like, share, and comment. And please subscribe to my channel. And I'll see you in the next video. Till then, take care and bye bye. Hello friends, welcome back. The next topic we will understand is pseudo selector. A pseudo class is used to define a special state of an element. For example, it can be used to style an element when the user mouse over it, style visited and unvisited links. Differently styling element when we get focus. Pseudo classes can be combined with CSS classes. For example, in index.html, I will create a div with a class element. Okay, so and inside this, I will take anchor tag, and here I'll give a link and I'll give some text. So download. Let's save this. Okay. Now I will style this anchor tag. Okay, so for that we need to go to index.scss, and here I will write the name of the class, which is dot element, and inside curly braces I will write a, which is anchor tag, curly braces open close, and here I'll give some CSS property which is text decoration none, and color will be black. Okay, so in normal CSS, if we want to give an hover effect to this anchor tag, we need to write something like this, colon and hover. Okay, but this is not the case in Sass. So let's remove this tag, because Sass works like a container. So to specify pseudo class to this anchor tag, we need to enter in this block, and right here we need to call ampersand, and then we need to say colon. So ampersand refer to this current selector, and colon will call the pseudo classes. So we will say here hover and then curly braces, and here you can specify what you want to do when we hover on anchor tag. So we will say here color, which is white. Okay, let's save this. So this was one example, and let's see one more example. So if you see here, let's go up. So here is the font size which we have given to this li. So what if I want to specify font size only for the first li tag? In that situation, what I'm going to do is here I will call ampersand colon, here I'll write nth child, and here I'll give 1, and then curly braces, and then I'll cut this font size and I'll paste it here. Okay, let's save this. Now I want to give a different font size to the second child. So here again I'll give ampersand nth child 2 curly braces, and font size will be 2em. Okay, let's save this. And if I go to style.css, then here you can see, okay, let me come down a little. Okay, so here as you can see, we have the first li with the font size of 1em and the second li with the font size of 2em. And if I come down a little, we have given the CSS for anchor tag, and we gave a hover effect for that anchor tag. So in this way we can use pseudo classes in our Sass, and this will save a lot of time. So, and we are not repeating the code as well. So I hope you like this video. If you like this video, please like, share, and comment, and please subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Till then, take care and bye bye. Hello friends, welcome back. Let's move on the next topic, which is operators. Well, you can find operators in every programming language. They are the key features of programming. Operators are helpful for scaling the web component. Doing math in CSS is very helpful. Sass has a handful of standard math operators like addition, subtraction, division, multiplication, and remainder. Arithmetic operators are used to perform the static arithmetic operations. Now let's see what you can do with these operators. So now let's get started with addition and subtraction. So in index.scss, let's create a class with the name header. So I'll take a class with the name header, and inside this class, I will take a CSS property font size, which is equal to 4 pixels. So to add 2 pixels, just specify the addition operator, and let's just say 2 pixels, or you can just say 2 here. This will add 2 in this 4. Okay, this will add 2 in this 4. Let's save this and let's go to style.css. So here you can see we have a header class and the font size is 6 pixels. Now let's go back to index.scss, and if I make this 2em and if I save this changes, so you will see that we get an error, incompatible unit em and pixels. So we can't take this as a pixel and this as a em. Okay, so this will give us an error. If I go to style, so you can see we have an error. Okay, so let's remove this em and let's save this again. Okay, if I go to style sheet, now you can see that we are getting 6 pixels. Okay, so don't give different units for both the numbers. Okay, so now let's check subtraction. Okay, so here I'll give height, which is equal to 80% minus 5%. Okay, let's save this, and if I go to style.css, here you can see height is 75%. So this 5% has been removed from 80% and now it is 75%. So in this way you can give subtraction. Okay, now let's check multiplication. Okay, so for that I will create a new class called multi. In Sass, the multiplication operator is used in the same way as addition and subtraction, only that the value must not be have a unit like this. If you just specify here the width, which is 20%, now I want to multiply 25 times. So I'm going to just call multiplication operator. So here I'll give multiplication operator and just say 5 and save the file. Okay, here the spelling of width is wrong. Okay, let's save this. And now if I go to style.css, here you can see we have a class multi and the width is 100%. Only keep in mind that when you use multiplication, only one value should have a unit. So here you should not have specify any unit for this value. Now let's talk about division. So I'll take a CSS property of height, which is equal to 24 divided by 4. And if I save this and if I go to style.css, here you can see nothing happened. Okay, so to make Sass do the calculation, you should put this value in brackets. Okay, so if I put both this value in round brackets and if I save this file, and now if I go to style.css, now you can see the height is 6. Let's come back here, and here I need to put pixels. Okay, so if I save this and if I go to style.css, now you can see height is 6 pixels. Okay, so here we need to put brackets to make Sass understand that here I need to divide this 24 by 4. Let's see a small magic with addition operators. Addition operator is also used to concatenate strings to join the two strings together. The addition operator can be used to concatenate two strings. So let's take a paragraph here and call the pseudo selector. Okay, so and colon, and here I'll write before, and inside this I will write content, which is equal to, and I'll take a string. I am I am a string with, and I'll concatenate by using plus sign, code. Okay, and give a semicolon here. So let's save this, and if I go to style.css, here you can see the content is I am a string with code. Okay, I am a string with code. Okay, let's come back to index.scss, and now if I give font family, and here if I write cursive, and now if I concatenate this cursive with the string, let's say serif. Okay, let's save this and let's go back to style.css. Here you can see we don't have quotes. Okay, like this, we don't have quotes. So this is without quotes. So if I come back to index.css, so if you specify a string with quotes before, okay, before the string, so the whole sentence will be in quotes. And if you specify a string without quotes before this string with a quote, then the result will be without quote. Okay, so this is the magic of addition operator. Okay, so I hope you like this video, and this is it for this series, and I hope you understand how to use Sass and when to use Sass and why do we use Sass. Okay, so this is it for this series. I hope you like the whole series. If you want to see the whole series, so I have given a link in the uh, I icon, so you can check it from there. I'll see you in some other series, and this is it for this video. Thank you and take care and bye bye.